and I'm wishing you a really happy World Book Day. I'm here to read you one of my stories. As you can see, I've written lots of books. Some of them are behind me here, but I'm going to share with you a story which I'm really excited about. And I am especially excited about it because I happen to know that through the Porri Droy Story Initiative, every one of you owns a copy of your own. The book is called Bun on the Run. And I hope that you're going to find it really funny and a bit exciting, and that it might make you perhaps just a little bit hungry too. I'm not sure. Shall we find out what happens in this story? It's all about this bun here called Bernard. This is Bun on the Run with words by me, Smriti Halls, and illustrations by Chris Jones. On a shiny white plate in a baker's shop sat Bernard the bun, with a cherry on top. He was squidgy and soft, sugared and spiced, perfectly round and perfectly iced. But Bernard had plans and a gleam in his eye. He waved to his friends, "Goodbye, goodbye. I've places to go and people to see. There's more to life than this for me." Bernard hopped down and out of the door. Like he's escaped from the bun shop. Bernard hopped down and out of the door, but what should he see? A big shaggy paw. A big dribbly mouth, ready to bite. 6 big teeth, sharp and white.
"Are you a nibbly treat for my tea?"
Who's talking? "No," cried Bernard. "No, not me." "Woof," went the dog, with jaws open wide. "Crumbs," quivered Bernard. "No time to hide." "Wait," whiffed the dog. "Oh, please, won't you stay?" "Not on your Nelly. No, no way. You can chase, chase, chase. You can run, run, run. But you can't catch me. I'm Bernard the bun." Oh, good for Bernard. He's managed to get away. What a relief. But just down the path was a nasty surprise. 2 twitchy ears and 2 twinkly eyes. Guess what it's going to be? A well-brushed tail and soft, silky fur. "What have we here?" came a soft, silky purr. "Are you a nibbly treat for my tea?" "No," cried Bernard. "No, not me." "Meow," went the cat and got ready to pounce. Bernard the bun went bounce, bounce, bounce. "Wait," purred the cat. "Please, won't you stay?" "Not on your Nelly. No, no way. You can race, race, race. You can run, run, run. But you can't catch me. I'm Bernard the bun." Bernard's pretty clever, isn't he? And he's pretty quick. Over the gate jumped Bernard the bun. He skipped in the meadow. He danced in the sun. Then who should appear but a plump little goose? "Oh, look, there's a little iced bun on the loose. Are you a nibbly treat for my tea?" "No," cried Bernard. "No, not me." He's away again. "Honk!" went the goose and got ready to peck. Yikes, thought Bernard. Yikes! Oh, heck! "Wait!" humped the goose. "Oh, please, won't you stay?" "Not on your Nelly. No, no way. You can hop, hop, hop. You can run, run, run. But you can't catch me. I'm Bernard the bun." At last, thought Bernard. Hooray! I'm free. What a lucky little bun I've managed to be. I've escaped from a goose and a dog and a cat. all by myself. Well, how about that? Wonder if you can see something that's happening in the pictures. Now I've run. What I need is a nap. But just at that moment, a beak went snap. Bernard the bun sailed high in the air. This wasn't right. This wasn't fair. It didn't look good. No, that much was true. Whatever was a little ice bun meant to do? Bernard thought hard. I know just the thing. He cleared his throat and started to sing. You can flap, flap, flap. You can run. But you can't catch me. I'm Bernard the Bun. Too late, cawed the crow. But as she started to speak, Bernard the Bun tumbled out of her beak. Goodbye, silly crow, giggled Bernard. Yippee! I've got places to go and people to see. So Bernard the Bun, and there he is, ran far, far away. If you're lucky, you might even spot him one day. And since Bernard had vanished to goodness knows where, the dog, the cat, and the goose, chased Charlie, the chocolate eclair. Oh dear, poor Charlie. He'll have to run very, very fast to get away from this hungry crew, won't he? I hope you enjoyed that story. The end. I'm going to answer some questions that I've been sent by some of you. And I have to say, I really enjoyed reading these questions. They really made me giggle. And some of them really made me have to think really hard about the answers. So the first one is from class 1, 2, and 3 of Dorlai Primary School. And the first question is, what is your favourite cake and why? Well, it's not going to sound very original now that we've read this story, but my favourite kind of cake is an iced bun. And that is why I had to write a story about one. And I don't know what it is about an iced bun. It's something about the fact that they're so squidgy. They're just really, really plump and they feel like a really, really lovely treat. And I think visually, to look at, they're fantastic because I think that white and red and cake combination is perfect. But I actually grew up in South Wales for a little bit of my childhood. And so between the age of about 5 and 10. And right then, my favourite cake was a Welsh cake. I used to really like eating those after school. So I think an ice bun and a Welsh cake would be friends in real life. I think that they've got quite a lot in common as a really nice treat. I wonder if you like Welsh cakes. I don't know. Question 2 from this same school is, why did you choose the name Bernard? Well, I've actually only ever met one person called Bernard. He was my best friend's dad when I was about 5. And I've never in my life again known anybody called Bernard. So it feels like quite an unusual name to me. It's quite original. But there's a storybook that I used to really love when I was little. This one called Not Now, Bernard by David McKee. And I'm a really big fan of David McKee. I think he's really, really clever. And so when I wrote this story, I was looking for a name for the character that would be really fun and that wasn't really usual. And I kind of wanted to sort of pay homage to kind of one of my great one of the people I admire, one of the authors that I really admire. So I named Bernard. I named Bernard after Not Now Bernard a little bit as well. But the stories are very, very different. But they do also involve eating. So you might want to have a look for that book sometime. The next question is, what would you do if you could step into one of your stories? That was such a hard question because when I'm writing my stories, I'm always sort of imagining what it would be like to be in one. And so there were lots of different answers I had for that, but I thought I couldn't pick between these two. This is a book called Stop, That's Not My Story. And in this story, the girl visits lots and lots of different fairy tales. She kind of meets the three bears and the wolf from Little Red Riding Hood, all sorts of things. But then at the end, oh gosh, she even has to nearly kiss a prince. How awful. Um, she doesn't. At the end of the book, she decides to write a story of her own. And in that bit, on this page, she gets to ride. She imagines riding on the back of a dragon. And I think maybe that might be one of the things that I would most like to do that's in one of my books. But I also thought about this book, which is called Not That Pet, about Mabel, because when I was little, I wasn't allowed a pet. I really wanted a cat. And so I wrote that book, and it's full of the most incredible pets. There's bears, and there's a snake in there. There's a wolf. There's every kind of animal you can imagine, including an elephant. I thought a pet elephant might be quite nice. So I might want to step into one of those stories and live out what it is to have an exotic pet. And the last question from Dorlai Primary School is, what is the best part about being an author? Well, I love writing stories. That is my favorite bit. I also really love reading my stories. So that's also my joint favorite bit. So I'm pretty excited when I get to do those things. But one of my secret favorite things about being an author, which perhaps you don't know, but this is actually true about a lot of authors, and they might not tell you, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let you into the secret. One of my favorite things about being an author is that, you know, in the morning when you have to get up and go to school and look really smart in your school uniform, and your teachers have to look really smart and come to school to teach you, do you know what? I go to work in. I go to work in my pajamas. Yeah, I do. I get to wear my pajamas to work most days because when I write a story, I want to be really relaxed. So I want to be wearing my favorite clothes. And my favorite, most comfy clothes are my pajamas. I wonder if any of you also love wearing your pajamas. I wonder if they're your favorite clothes too. So that's my secret favorite thing about being an author, going to work in my pajamas. Thank you for those questions. I've got some questions here from Palmerston Primary School, reception class. And the first one here says, what happened to Charlie the chocolate eclair? What a great question. So here is Charlie on the last page of the story. Oh, my goodness. Bernard's got away, but poor old Charlie is running for his life from the cat, the dog, and the goose. And the crow, actually. But I hope you've looked right to the end of the book where you will discover that Bernard has come back to rescue Charlie, and they're both running off into the distance. And I imagine that Bernard and Charlie together have got a plan to rescue all of the buns and cakes from the baker's shop window. That's what I think happens to Charlie next. But you might have a different idea about what happens to Charlie. And I wonder if you want to write a story about Charlie the chocolate eclair and what adventures he has. The next question is, will there be any more stories about the other cakes that are illustrated at the front of the book? I wonder. Well, I would love to do another one of these. So I'm going to actually talk to my editor and see whether that's possible. And I've got such a good choice, haven't I? Because Chris Jevons, the illustrator, has made all of these cakes look so yummy. I wonder which one you would choose. I'm kind of thinking maybe the donut. I think the donut could be really good for a story of its own, or one that's not mentioned here, which I really like, which is a jam tart. I feel like a jam tart might deserve a story of her own. We'll see. So thank you for those questions. And I've got two questions here from Jacob and Elliot from Oldcastle Primary School in Bridgend. So, why did Bernard the Bun escape alone and not go with his friends? What a great question. Well, if you have a look at the front of the book, you can see Bernard sitting here and all of his friends. And I think it's that Bernard is really impatient. Are any of you impatient? You know, when it's your birthday or when it's Christmas, have you got that kind of, are you just itching to open your presents or itching to find out what the surprises are, itching to do something? I think Bernard just can't wait to get out and have an adventure. And the trouble is, the rest of his friends, they just look quite happy to be where they are, don't they? They're very comfortable and they're probably enjoying being admired by all the people that walk past the baker's shop window. Do you ever do that? I do that all the time. I'm always standing outside going, well, it looks yummy. So I think it's not that he's abandoning his friends. It's just that he doesn't want to get eaten. He doesn't want to get bought. He doesn't want to go home in someone's shopping bag. He wants to get out and have a real life adventure. And he definitely does that, doesn't he? And last question is, why did you choose to write a rhyming story? I love writing stories in rhyme, and most of these, if not all of these, are written in rhyme. And I think when I get an idea for a story, often it comes to me like a piece of music, just a line or two, and they come and they sort of sit in my head before I start writing, before I sort of even start writing anything down. And often it's two lines that will come together like a little couplet, a bit like if you were making up a song. And that's often my starting point. And I think there's something so lovely about writing in rhyme. I love the way that you play with language when you write a story in rhyme. And I love playing with words anyway. So I wonder if you would maybe like to write a rhyming story, or not a whole story, but you might want to have a go at writing a few lines of a rhyme yourself and seeing if you can have fun just rolling around the words and matching them together, and seeing how they fit together. And if you do that, I hope you have a lot of fun. It always gives me a lot of fun. Thank you for those brilliant questions.